Hi there, I'm Ben, and today we're talking about the latest, greatest, most refreshed AirPods Pro, the second generation. Mostly because I've been waiting for some of these features since AirPods came out, and I am so excited to try them. First impressions / fit and finish. I am just going to say it again because apparently Apple isn't listening anyway. A brushed or matte white finish would be really nice. I mean, in a perfect world, matte black, but we know you're never going to do that, so. I get really tired of the whole polished egg thing. I said it in the Sony XM4 review. They did this better. They did a lot of things better, but that's one of them specifically. I do like the little noise it makes when it pairs. It would also be handy if it made a little noise when it needs to be charged as well. When I heard the noise for the first time, I thought it would be best if there were a way to turn that off. Thankfully, you can access that setting pretty easily on your iPhone or your Mac. I also like that the first time I paired it, I didn't have to push the button on the back for some reason. Obviously, I like that there's a little loop on the side. Ironically though, the only reason I ever wanted a loop on the side was so that I could attach a tile which makes noise, and they've already solved that problem for me at long last, so I'll have to find some other use for it. Sound-wise, I find that it's pretty standard for AirPods. It feels bright and punchy, and nothing is really blowing me away here. Let's talk about volume control. So I did actually say this when the first AirPods came out. They should add a swipeable interface to this. That'd be nice. And they finally did. So obviously I was excited to try this. Honestly, this is one of those features that should have been at launch, but of course we know Apple loves to tease us, and by tease us I mean dribble out essential features that should have come stock in the interest of making billions of more dollars. That said, the actual execution of the feature feels really solid. I love that there's a little punk noise which lets you know that it worked. It feels very intuitive, exactly the way it should. I also haven't even been able to make it screw up, which is nice. Not even when I'm using the control pad to play pause. Apple kind of nailed this, and frankly it's astounding that the AirPods are unique in delivering this feature well. I've tested a lot of different headphones, and even the AirPods Max are prone to these accidental touches on the digital crown. Next, let's talk about the Find My features. This case now makes a high-pitched noise, and frankly, it's actually quite loud as far as tiny speakers go. Honestly, I'm kind of over the moon with this feature because it is so nice to have. I'm also just going to say that this, again, should have been a feature from day one. Next, let's talk about switching. So this is something which Apple has gradually been instituting with software updates, and I noticed that it's getting actually better on my old AirPods. It's about the same on the new AirPods, but I am a little bit frustrated because in a perfect world, AirPods would just play audio from whatever device I'm using, giving me that automatic switching magic. However, this isn't really how it works, even though I think that's what Apple is gunning for. And given the success that Bose has had with this, it's so weird to me that Apple is still lagging behind, even within their own walled garden. Like, it's almost embarrassing that the Bose 700s can do this better than an Apple device in an entirely Apple ecosystem. I would say, however, that the delay in time it takes to switch between devices is decreasing, which is nice. Except for in the case of the Apple Watch, which we talked about in the Apple Watch review, which you should go see. Yeah. Okay, noise canceling. Has it improved? Honestly, I have to say that I don't think noise canceling has gotten much better, or at least if it has, I would need to do a scientific study to measure it, and frankly, at that point, it's not really worth it. All I know is it's good, but even in this new generation, it's just not as good as the XM4s. With the XM4s, I could drown out a hurricane. With the AirPods, I could drown out, a smallish tornado. Let's talk about bugs and bad stuff. So I've recently run into an issue where my headphones are connected to my phone, but the audio won't play through my headphones. What's weirder is that my phone can see that I'm connected and can even turn noise canceling on and off using my phone, but it just kind of disconnects or refuses to recognize it after that. It's very odd. Anyway, it's a small thing and I've only encountered it once or twice, but it's still strange because, again, all of the devices I'm using are brand new, so what the fuck. Let's talk about ear fit. Apple provides a good range of ear tips so you can get a good fit, and I actually didn't realize this before, but they also inscribe the size inside of the ear tip underneath the fold, which could be handy to know if you aren't sure or you dropped them or something. I noticed that when I switched to an extra small pair of ear tips, the noise canceling actually seemed to be much better. Probably just my dainty little ear canals. Oh hey, so Apple actually dropped a surprise little feature. Not a big one, but So this might seem kind of silly, but I was absolutely delighted and kind of shocked to find out that the AirPods Pro Generation 2 charges with an Apple Watch charger. They've made them kind of like universally attachable, so it'll go onto your MagSafe charger or your Apple Watch charger, and that's really nice. I fucking wish Apple would do this more. Maybe they will. Maybe this is a sign of good things to come. Or maybe it's the beginning of the end. We never know with Apple, do we? Summary. In my last video, I did a big rant about how mad I was that Apple was being boring. As much as I've enjoyed reviewing these, I have to say that I get the same feeling. The product, generally, works pretty well. If you need to upgrade, you probably should. The features they've added are good and work well most of the time. However, as has been the case more and more often with Apple products, the upgrades are becoming more and more incremental. We're inching forward instead of jumping forward. So, unless I say otherwise, this is probably my last Apple review for a while. Here's hoping they release an AR headset soon. That's pretty much it for now. I'm BRB, this is BRBTG, and as always, I'll be right back.